like a knitting club.
All right. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Welcome back to Nerdy Playbook. We are in episode 54. We are in the final quest. So we are missing Fig tonight. Most of us are going to our local Comic-Con this weekend, and she is making a prop. So that is currently her main focus, which is perfectly fine, but I'm sure she's listening right now. So where we left off last time, you all had your final party in the Everest Kingdom, celebration to be had, fun times going on, drinks, especially Elle partaking in some very strong liquor. Weapons were also retrieved. Elle also got some new weapons in the process. Next morning, you were summoned. You were able to use the badges to teleport over to the Archmage Sanctum, where they told you that you're supposed to meet up with their undercover operative, which this teleportation pad will take you to. You'll take you into his safe house, and you're supposed to wait there until his arrival. You were not given a name other than just he. As you go through the teleportation circle, it takes you about a minute. You get a little bit groggy. You're kind of sent into almost kind of like a deep fog for a little bit. It seems like this portal is taking a little bit of time to load. And essentially, the fog starts going out, and you're all just standing in a pretty nice place. It's kind of cabinish kind of style. You do see kind of everything in one spot. You do see that there are some steps that lead up into the bedroom. To your right, you got the kitchen. To your left, you got a living area, and then you see a small little open area room for guests. Currently, it doesn't look like there's anybody in here. You can pretty much see everything from where you're standing. The room, it's the building itself is probably only about 60 feet deep. So it's not too big, but it is very, very well furnished. Nice couches, nice blankets. The cutlery and the dishes are of very expense. Everything is clean. You do see that on a table right in front of you there is a note left, and it does have the symbol of the guild on it.
Let's go read it.
Okay, so you check out the note. To my fellow compatriots, unfortunately, to keep up the ruse, I must be working at my day job. Please take in whatever I got. Mentions he's got a fully stocked area. Please do not leave until I arrive. You do not have any permission to walk around this area, so I should be back before nightfall. Oh, and the name that is put at the bottom of it is in regards, Qatar Belzeman.
Okay. Cargrim's gonna make his way over to the kitchen to fix himself up a snack so he can eat while he waits for dude.
What was that name again? I had to find a pen.
Qatar Belzeman.
Should we perhaps come up with a plan so that way we don't get there and we're like,
Hello,
hey,
don't
anybody?
die.
Anybody? I was gonna say, I do have something that I want to do, but I'm gonna cast it as a ritual and it only lasts an hour, so I want to wait till the last 10 minutes before we leave so that way we get maximum usage out of this. But I feel like we need to figure out, or at least do some sort of research or something. We can't just go in there and fly by the seat of our pants.
I can always kind of sneak in and see what I can see as reconnaissance.
I was gonna say, we're here to just blow this place up, right? That's...
Well, yeah.
Right.
But I can areas to sneak into.
And I can fly.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
if you fly, you also might be spotted easier. So I don't know.
It's true. I know how to make an entrance.
What if we gave the explosives to the sneaky people so they can go around and plant them, and the rest of us not sneaky people?
You guys
just
don't have the
engage
explosives yet.
enemy? Okay. Well, then we don't even have the tools we need to execute it.
Did we clarify if the explosives will be provided to us, or do we
They'll
have
be
to
provided
fashion
to
our
you
own?
by
Okay.
Katar. Katar will bring you the explosives. It is too dangerous for you guys to bring them through the portal.
Fair.
So
Fair
you don't even
enough.
really know what is provided to you for your explosives. You were just kind of told that of the 3 objectives you need to complete, if you can do them at the best of your capabilities. 1 is try to put an explosive at the base of the building that'll create a chain reaction that'll destroy it. 2 is try to find the source of where you can essentially try to eliminate the source of Soma, so Soma just can't come back in another body. And 3, assassinate the Emperor.
Mm-hmm.
By all means, they say that destroying the building is your primary objective. If you can't do the other 2, it is not required. At the most, if you destroy the building, you are taking, you're cutting the head off the snake.
Mm-hmm.
But we only need to plant 1 explosive in order to do that. We don't have to plant them throughout the building.
It depends. So you were given just a couple pieces of knowledge. You could essentially go all the way to the basement to plant it, but based off the terminology we're told, it would be a mixture of being very difficult because they don't have any maps of that area, so they have no idea what's in the basement.
That was going to be my question. Was
So-
there a map?
Otherwise, you can plant them between between a third of each height of the building. So the building itself, is 100 floors high. So you go like 30 floors up, put a bomb. Another 30 floors up, put a bomb. Another like to 90th floor, put a bomb. Then you leave it, you set them all off, and they create a chain reaction that just drops it straight down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. I think intermittent bombs placed throughout the building would be most effective than probably trying to just
By the way, to
one
specify
source.
time, as far as how much time Kadar arrives, right now there is sun. It is hard to tell in this area because you guys are on a floating island of the time, but there's a large amount of sun that's coming in. If anybody wants to try to figure out the exact time, you can try to give me a investigation check.
Why not?
Sure.
Worst thing that's going to happen is we don't know what time it is.
21, natural 20
Yeah,
from
20.
Cargrim.
Okay,
Being able
well,
I'm really
to
beyond time.
be able to know how high the island is off the ground and at the angle shadows are coming in and the light, you would assume you're roughly about midday. Give or take a few minutes, you'd probably assume you're probably at maybe 1 o'clock, 1:30.
Our goal is to complete this mission today.
What the fuck am I hearing?
That's me.
Andrew's dumping
Yeah.
out
That
dice.
sounds like a bunch of dice just continuously falling.
That's what it was.
Pick one thing up and then more stuff falls.
Yep.
Oh, shit.
Guys, I knew it.
That was great, though.
Do we have a
no,
time?
Hal's just dropping things in the background, like, oh shit.
Bad?
Eos is knocking things over like a cat.
Wow.
Do we have a time limit on when this is supposed to be executed? Like, does it have to be
A
done
deadline?
by tomorrow at dawn or anything like that? DM.
What's that?
Is there a time limit on this? Are we supposed to get this done within like 24 hours? Or...
You weren't really given much more information other than you were just supposed to retrieve your information from Kadar.
Okay. So let's have a snack and wait for him to get back. We don't even have a map of the place unless Alora and Fig wanted to try to get blueprints.
I can go explore because
No, he said we're not allowed to leave. I know you're sneaky, but I mean, if you get caught, then we've got a whole other slew of issues to deal with.
I
Yeah,
just don't
true.
get caught.
That's not. You're missing the point of the message, Alora.
Ah, forget I said anything about it.
Don't get caught. Got it.
You're not even
Stealth
leaving, so it's not
is
a,
the
it's
best.
a moot point.
Right. He said we're not allowed to leave. That means stay here.
All right, so you
So I
guys
think
were.
It would behoove us most to try to get either blueprints of the place or something. Do we know anything about this guy's place that we're at?
The floating city of New Aberrant. All of you can
Or
just
no,
roll
like
me.
the specific house we're in. Sorry.
wanna know
You do
about
not
the
know.
island.
You don't
About
even
this
know
guy.
where the house is supposed to be due to the secrecy. You don't know where the safe house
Got it.
actually is. You just know you're on the island. But if
Okay,
any of you
okay.
want to see if you actually have any knowledge about the island, even if it's minimal, you can all give me a history check.
Okay.
Okay.
Ooh.
Ooh, Allura with a 20.
Ooh.
Oh.
Let me go.
Carbon with a
Oh, it's
25.
Oh.
Oh no, I need to stop rolling so well. We're not in combat.
I got a
Wasting
22.
those high
22.
die.
And my sage background, which I don't know if it'll help me or not, but I am a knowledge boy.
Sure.
I love it to books.
History. I got 19.
19. Okay, so between all of you, you might have picked up a few things out of here, but none of you have actually seen it. As far as Karbrum, you would know this area because of you've been told that the actual central building, the actual building that is the main hub for the Empire, has actually used to be an actual, used to be a high priestess tower. It was actually a legendary tower about 1,000 years ago. It was used for clerics, sorcerers, mages of all different kinds to basically come together and learn each other's magics in a safe zone. You do know that the tower itself is actually magical. That the tower itself almost has a sentience to it. And that you've heard some rumors that it was like pulled from its one location and used as a statement piece for the Empire to basically say, hey, we took the most important thing of the clerics in the world. What? Between like Allura and the others, you would have kind of picked some stuff up on your travels. Especially Allura, as far as in crowds of other thieves, about hearing some people tried to sneak their way onto this island, trying to think that that the if it's the most impregnable fortress, there must be some pretty good stuff in here, if not some great value. No one's been able to get as far as the second gate. There's a total of 3 gates before you can even get to the central building. It is kind of like a rumored kind of like the forbidden treasure. Like there's always a curse to it. Like you can only get so far before something happens.
And we're in this tower right
No,
now?
so you guys don't know. You're not in the tower. You're somewhere in the city.
Oh.
So all these are different houses.
And this is the
We
tower
look-
you're talking
Yeah.
about.
This is the tower.
Got
And
it.
no one's gotten past the second gate.
Correct.
Can I look out the window?
Yeah.
Just to try to see if there's a landmark, because we were in the city
I'm a-
once before, right?
You guys were never here before. You guys were at the
were in the city
ground
before?
floor.
Mhm.
Oh. Okay.
I would imagine
Well-
that we'd have to hoist Gramps up because I highly doubt Gramps' window height.
Well, I mean, you can climb up something to get into it, but you can give me you can give me a perception check to look through the window. 20. Peeking through the window, you're able to see that where you are right now, the houses are crowded, but they're very, very nice. Think of it as like downtown New York, where it's a lot of really, really nice condos, but they're like all connected to each other.
Got it.
It's a very cramped area, but very, very rich. You can see some people walking in the roads, and they are wearing tidy suits. The one thing you're noticing out of everything, not only is everybody rich, but this place is so protected, no one even carries a weapon with them. They don't
we
need
must
to.
be at least within the second wall. I say, Gramps says to everybody.
How can you be so sure about that?
Just logic. There's no way that we're inside the outermost wall, because that's where all the common folk would be. There would be a lot more space for farms and that kind of stuff. They would be a lot more poor people, and if nobody's carrying a weapon, there has to be a sense of heightened security already innately in place.
Oh,
So we're at least within the second wall, if not further in.
Are there any people walking around?
Are there any people walking around?
Yeah, there's plenty of people walking around. Yeah.
Oh yeah, duh. You already said that.
Yeah.
While
That's
they're
fine.
doing this, can I sneak away and try and sneak onto the roof?
Yeah. Give me a stealth check.
Get a better view?
You were supposed to be
34.
watching her.
You were trying to hoist me up. You were watching her.
34. Yeah, I mean, no one even
I'm busy
notices that
holding
you
you.
walked away. Like, you just moved out, and
There's a little-
you do see that there is, like, once you go up to like the bedroom, which is like the second floor loft, there is just like a little latch, kind of like the top of like a RV where you can get to the top, that just lets you go to the roof. It's not locked. You can pop it open, and give me an investigation check.
Gramps and Corbin are just downstairs.
I like to think that she was
Ooh.
able to sneak. Oh no.
Oh,
She was able to sneak away because you tried to
do
help
I
me out.
have?
Oh, absolutely. She was like, Corbin's
Um,
distracted. Dad's distracted. Go.
Yeah. Do you have any
Cool.
do you have any inspiration
I
left?
only have one.
Yeah.
Can I use it as advantage?
I'll allow you to use it as your advantage. Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Yay.
Investigation.
4. Oh.
Oh
Okay.
no.
So you make it out there. You immediately take it in. This place is huge. When you guys are on the ground floor, the radius of the place was roughly about 2 miles. This is 5 miles long. You think that maybe you just got to do a hop, skip, and a way to get over to the tower. The tower is like intimidating how far it is away. You can see it, but it's as if you're on one side of town and you can still see a lake from that side that's on the other side of town. It is a good jog. Not only that, but you do see that there are... So you can see where you are right now. You're here.
So we're in the third ring.
You're in the outer ring. You can see that each ring is roughly about 200 feet high. They're protected by guards, both on top and by the doors. It looks like the way that people get through the doors, they have some kind of wristband that allows them to get through. The doors don't... The guards don't stop people from... They don't check the wristbands. It seems like the wristbands just automatically activate the doors for them to pass through. And it looks like, with your check, that the tower itself, to describe what you see of the tower, is there's a constant arcane light that's coming from the top of it, as if it's channeling some kind of energy. There's no storm in the area, but you still see lightning strikes occasionally hit the top of the tower.
Okay.
On left and right side, there are 2 towers that have crimson orbs on them. You have no idea what they do, but they are there. That's pretty much all you can really tell.
Okay. I am going to go back to my friends.
Okay?
Hey guys,
Hey.
So- we're in the
Where the hell
third
did
ring.
you go?
I went to the roof.
Oh,
You were supposed to be watching.
Anyway, what'd you see?
No, we're in the third ring, and the tower's really, really far away. We're like on the other side of town, and the walls are really tall, and we won't be able to really climb up the walls. Well, Hal can fly over the walls, and he might be able to fly me over the walls, but I don't think he can fly you two over the walls, and he might not be able to fly Fig over the wall, but we can try. But it's really far away, and there's an ominous glowing thing on top of it, and there's 2 big orbs. I don't know what they do. I don't like them, but I can see them from here, but it is a long way away.
Do I
Okay.
know if there's like a teleportation? I mean, I don't have a way to use it, but like, is there a teleportation circle possible, or like, does it look like this guy has like a teleportation circle ready, or
Nothing that
sure
you guys see nothing that you guys see out in the open.
I'm sure they set us up with him because he has a way to get us into the tower.
I would certainly hope so.
Yeah.
I would assume so.
Can
It is the
you-
guild, and they seem to have their shit together.
Alora, can you show me the orbs? Maybe I can try and like if they see magic. That is kind of
And I'm
what I
gonna run
do.
back up to the roof.
Okay.
And
Alright.
I will follow her back up to the
So
roof.
this time, Corbin, you
I'm
can
gonna-
make me a check for investigation.
I'm gonna tail.
Or can I do Arcana?
them.
From this distance, it'd be a very high DC, but yeah, you could.
Man.
Better than your investigation.
24.
Okay. From this distance, it's hard to tell the exact function of them because if they have a function, they might not be being used at the moment.
Right.
But it looks like at the minimum amount of knowledge you can figure out, it looks like the orbs themselves are like a, how can I put this? A control of some kind.
Okay.
Like maybe they manipulate the structure of the building. Maybe they're like the power generators to the building. You just know that they operate something for the building. And at this current moment, you could probably say that they're kind of like on stasis. Maybe
Right,
they just
they're-
don't. You would
They're in
assume
sleep
that.
mode.
Yeah, you would assume that if they were being used for something with such huge arcane lights, because these things are balls of energy that are about 50 feet radius. So
Okay.
they're huge. Like all of
They're
you could
huge,
stand
yeah.
inside of one. And if they activated, the amount of light that would be emitting from them would light up the whole inner ring.
Okay.
Almost like a surveillance light.
Yeah, I was gonna say, does it look more like it could, to me, it reminds me more of an alarm than.
The only reason why you probably wouldn't assume it'd be is because you turn around, you look at like the front towers,
Mhm.
and those have spotlights on them. So
Okay.
unless these are specific different kind of spotlights, you would assume why would we have basic spotlights covering the city and very nice spotlights protecting the
Mhm.
tower. So
Right.
you assume that they have a different function, but they definitely operate something of the building. Bare minimum, they're just generators. Maximum, they are some kind of
They're big owie death ray.
something. Yeah.
Ow. Ow.
Corbin immediately thinks big death ray, whether that is what it is or not. He's immediately like, those are what's going to kill me.
You do know that they have nothing to do with the top of the tower. The arcane
Okay.
energy that's coming from the tower is something exclusive to the tower. You would know that once a tower was moved here from its original spot, these towers were added to it.
Okay.
Can I do a history? Do I know
Who did
that
that?
the tower was moved from a spot? Or is
Yeah,
that-
you're the one who knows the history
the
of
one
the
that knows.
tower itself.
Okay. Do I know where it was previously?
Yes. So it was actually in the most northern continent.
Okay.
It is the most cherished relic of the last 2,000 years for all mages. I mean, this is from religious mages to just wizards. And it has been long rumored that the Empire was the one that stole it. But it has gone missing before the Empire showed up. It just like randomly just disappeared. There is actually like a hole in the ground of where it was left. Like randomly, just one day, clerics came back to do their morning prayers, and there was just a hole in the ground in the building. It was gone.
Weird. Okay.
To imply no one actually lived in the building. It was actually forbidden for anybody to stay in there for more than an hour due to the overall magic that was actually channeled through it. It was also considered a cursed item. If you stayed in there, and unless you were a very, very, very powerful mage, when I say very powerful, I mean like a level 20 wizard. If you could maybe muster up about 5 hours worth of training in there. That's like busting out sweat, calisthenics, kind of like that. The amount of magic that's inside of it can make someone go insane if they're not well trained mentally for it. And the way that you would know that the temple would have been set up is that if you're a novice, you only can exist on the first floor. As you start getting more experience, you're allowed to progress further floors up. So the highest floor, which is essentially floor 90, is reserved for the most valiant of mages. Ones that have mastered already the magics that shouldn't even need this knowledge.
So blow it up from the bottom and come crashing down.
If there's the way underneath it, that'd be sweet.
Around the perimeter.
Yeah.
Just boom, 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 boom.
I'll say around this time, because you guys have spent some time looking at it, windows, roof, and stuff like that. The sun's starting to set. For anybody who's on, it's not fully set yet. For anybody who's on the roof, the way you can see it is that you can now determine how high this island is. As the sun sets, there's still light, but the sun, it gets darker for you guys up here than it is for anybody on the ground level. You guys can assume, based off the cloud cover and everything like that, you guys are very high up. Probably about at least 50 to 100 miles up from ground level.
Oh
Ooh.
God.
Cool.
Um,
Instant vertigo.
Yep.
like if you had the ability to actually go to like the cliffside and look down, you could see the sun setting beneath you. Kind of like that.
Ooh.
Pull it.
Elle's kind of enjoying this. She just kind of sits on the roof and kicks her little feet and watches the sunset.
As the sun stops hitting the island, you guys start noticing like a shift change of people, where this ring that you have is a bunch of people that are maybe doing some business affairs or just walking around as a husband and wife and just enjoying being rich. Now you're switching it around to a nightlife. Natural ethereal glows illuminate the walls as if you were in a downtown area and these were the streetlights. The only difference is there are summon glows that happen all the way around. It is very beautiful. It's like if you're on a dark street and then the sensors of the streetlights just kind of pop on. Each one having a different illumination. And at this point, you start seeing people that are going out for drinks, having the regular business nightlife. As you start noticing that this outer ring is specifically for residents that work in the center ring.
I'm going to take a few of my ball bearings out of my bag,
Okay.
toss them down at people, and
Okay.
then hide back on the roof.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, Laura.
All right.
I
So
am
you just
so
kind of
trying
flick
to
one
get
at somebody, duck. It's
So
like,
I
what
am
the?
specifically aiming, like, if people are carrying, like, anything in their hands or drinks or anything, I'm trying to get it in there.
Okay.
Oh my god.
So like one
Laura,
guy's
this
like
is how we
drinking
get caught. What
like
happened
a
to-
glass of wine, and you immediately just shoot it in, immediately dumps it in. It just splashes. Oh, what the? What the?
Laura,
Did you just see
we're
that?
supposed to
Come
not
on, man.
get
Just
caught.
We're not getting caught.
um.
Oh my god.
For anybody who's on the ground floor, you start hearing a key turn on the knob.
Okay.
Come on.
Gramps had gone back down to sit.
Okay.
As soon as
Yeah.
he realized
Corbin's
the
trying to get
around
Alora
the
off the
sky.
roof. Because I feel like Alora doesn't want to leave the roof, but it's time to go. We have a job to do.
Yeah, hell's still on the
Yeah,
ground.
job can wait.
As immediately the door opens, you see someone walk in, and you see a familiar armor style, an elite. Helm on, great sword, everything. As you kind of hear muffled sounds, takes off the helmet. As you see a blonde elf popping his head out with one green eye and one damaged silver eye. See, you all made it here in one piece. He has a spot on a side table to put his helmet down, takes off his gloves, puts his large greatsword, rests it over on the nightstand, immediately puts his hands out. Pleasure to meet other guild members. I'm and just kind of just like looks at you. I'm Kadar.
We
Parker.
finally meet. How?
Kargrim shakes his hand.
As you see now, as the reason why he was chosen for this is that he is one of the highest ranked soldiers around. As an elite is considered under commanders, which you guys fought one. They are considered the specific like SWAT squadron elite task force of the area. As you see, as he's shaking your hands, you see 3 wristbands on his arm. 1 green, 1 blue, 1 purple. And they all seem like they're all silver, but they're glowing with an ethereal enchantment surrounding them. 1 green, 1 blue, 1 purple. Well, what's
I
that?
feel like it's for the walls.
I said
Access
I
to
want
the
to see
walls.
what the wristbands are about.
Oh,
I was trying to figure out on my own, but
okay. I mean, you can give me an Arcana check on him.
Arcana? Okay.
Yep.
I'll assist.
Okay.
How are you gonna assist me doing
Yeah.
that
How would you
now?
like
Is
to
it
assist?
something
Are you
that
proficient? Are you
Kargrim's
proficient in
meant to, like-
Arcana? Hal?
That
I
was a great
am.
question.
Are you still on the roof with me or not?
Yep.
Yes, I am
Okay.
proficient.
Okay. If you're
I just don't
proficient
use
and
it.
you're proficient and you're with Kargrim, you can give me.
Yes.
You can allow Kargrim to have advantage.
Hooray!
Well, I still have inspiration.
Well, you can save your inspiration and you can just take the advantage.
Save it
Okay.
for a rainy day.
Mhm.
Deal.
Save
16.
it for, bombs.
At
Um,
once.
As you're looking at them, you can see that they are a sensor beacon of some kind. It looks like once the wearer of these gets close to something, something activates, presumably opening up a door.
Okay. Cool.
Based off what you could see outside or what other people have said they saw outside, it looks like it's a combination that opens up doors. All doors require a green ring, but the extra functionality of the blue and purple could be for higher level to get to different locations. He's like, well, I was told that we don't really have too much time to relax, and now's the best time for this, so I guess you should get right to business. As he starts taking off the scarf, he starts switching over into more normal casual clothes, almost feeling like he doesn't want to kind of throw you guys off by wearing elite clothing. And he just wears
Excellent.
more of just a leather tunic. He puts on a couple belts, and then he's wearing more of a traditional elvish garb. He kind of moves the table up closer to everyone, and he immediately puts out this blueprint that shows everybody a layout of floor 1 to 60. It's like, unfortunately, I can't give you 61 to 90. Those spots are pretty exclusive, and there's no way to really take out information in blueprints outside of that. But I can at least get you up 2 of the spots if you guys want to plant out the bombs at different locations. Speaking of which, as he goes over a spot, he starts whispering in his, and then he just puts his hands against the wall as like a false wall itself opens as part of the wall just disappears, and you see just a large case that he pulls out. And he opens them up, and you see these 3 large devices. Nothing you guys have really seen before. They're kind of like a mix of like magic and tech.
Ooh.
You see like a switch on each one. It looks like a lever. And then it looks like kind of like an oversized C4 piece. So whenever you're ready, these are what we're going to need. I don't know if the queen went over any information for you, but I'll try to give you as much info as possible, along with, again, Hooks, the 3 bands. Who wants to carry them?
Give him
I
to
will.
Grant.
Okay.
I would say Corbin's left the roof at this point. Alora
Yeah,
could do.
when he was going to change, Kargrim had shouted up like, "Hey, it's time to get."
I would have kicked
Okay.
out by now with.
Oh, sure,
Corbin.
you listen to Gramps, but not
So
to
he
me.
passes the wristbands to you, and he mentions to you, he holds up the green one. It no longer is illuminating when he's not wearing it, but he's holding the one that was illuminating green. This one will get you through the gates. Puts in your hand. Holds up the blue one. This one will essentially, if anybody asks any questions, we'll pull up information for you. For the next 24 hours, you're mercenaries on hire from the Empire. Just own it, live with it. If anybody asks you any questions, you're just mercenaries. But don't think it's going to get you everywhere. If someone decides to look it up at the records, they're going to find out you don't actually exist. So don't own on to that too much. Just allow yourself to get away from a conversation if necessary. Mercenaries come in and out quite often. The Empire does some dirty work that they don't want the soldiers to be, shown off as far as propaganda. So mercenaries go around a lot. But mercenaries don't get anywhere further than the 30th floor. So once past the 30th floor, that excuse is going to go bye-bye.
So after the 30th floor, we'll need to come up with a new reason why we're there.
The purple one,
Or
he gives
sneak.
it to you. The purple one is for a backup plan. I don't know if you guys figured out how you're going to do this yet. Do you want to go in the basement? Or do you want to go through the tower?
I think we got caught up in logistics of how we were going to get there.
Well, if you go through the basement, I don't really have any information for you. This will at least get you into the basement. Been down there a couple times. It's where they keep a lot of unsettling things, but also know a lot of. I know that not even I'm allowed down there, so you won't have to worry about soldier patrol. So that's something, but I can't give you a head start on eyes.
Okay.
If you decide to take the tower, like I said, you can possibly get away for the excuse of being mercenaries, but you will really have to own it. But once you plant the first bomb, all bets are off after that. So there's a bit of risk on each one. Also, take into account if you are here to assassinate the Emperor, you'll eventually have to make it to the top of the tower anyway. The Emperor's quarters is on the 90th floor.
So
I
the
vote-
Emperor must be pretty skilled in magic to be able to just hang out on the 90th floor then.
I mean, no one's really tested him. And I'm not allowed. Elites aren't even allowed up there. I mean, there's
Wouldn't
only
the
a handful
tower
of people.
test him?
What's
Sorry.
that?
I didn't mean to cut you off, sorry.
We're not even allowed to go up there. I mean, only his son, his handmaidens, and his oracle are allowed to be up there. People rarely even see the Emperor. If he didn't decide to make proper broadcasts once in a while, we would assume that he doesn't even exist.
Does he?
say those.
If you're not sure that he's that skilled, I would assume that the tower would test him, having to be up on the 90th level.
I mean, with the orbs there, I would assume that's what's calming the tower down. I mean,
Yeah, that was my question, was what are those
oh,
red orbs of?
the Crimson. They manipulate the tower to not have any negative effects on anybody who is not, I guess, worthy to be in the tower. They essentially make it where regular... Oh, I'm not a magic user, and I can go up to the 30th floor without any problem.
So if the orbs weren't there, then the tower would automatically destroy the Emperor and anybody else on the 90th level that wasn't like a
fully
high
concentrating
mage.
on it. I mean, he lives on the 90th floor, so from what I hear is that even the strongest mages couldn't even live on the 90th floor, but they could at least train up there. I mean, that's his room. That's where he lives. So I'm assuming that the Crimson Orbs at least keep the power of the tower docile.
Oh, I'm all for taking those out.
And then just let it do its own thing, because then who killed
Right.
the Emperor? The tower killed the Emperor. You can't put a tower under federal arrest. Anyway.
Or can you?
I still vote basement just because I don't know how good most of us are at lying and acting.
Acting?
Before we do anything, I am going to spend the next 3 hours and use my imposter feat, or it's under my feature and traits, and it is I gain the ability to unerringly mimic another person's speech, writing, and behavior after studying the person for at least 3 hours. I have advantage on any deception check you make to avoid detection.
Okay.
And I want to learn his whole mannerisms with the military, his speech, how he talks, how he walks, his every action, so that if we are questioned, if we are under speculation, I can unerringly mimic that
Okay.
of a soldier.
Learn
mean-
the jargon.
I mean, you can, but like he said, you are supposed to be a mercenary, not a soldier, so you'll be mimicking a role that they don't want you to mimic. You know what I'm saying?
I still want to learn it.
Okay, fair enough.
because just
Backup
in
plan.
case.
Sure.
Backup plan.
Okay. All right. So going through all the plans,
So-
it'll take you some time anyway. So during that time, you can learn all of his mannerisms, copy a bunch of his different tells and everything like that, and you can get it going on. He does explain that, all right, if you guys want to go down into the basement, he shows the blueprint of the actual place. So the access to the basement that I can give you is actually not in the central ring. You would actually have to go, and he like says that you got to go past the first gate, and then you got to get behind. There's actually, when you wrap around, there's actually a hidden tunnel that leads you down, and it's where he calls it their disposal is. We don't know what gets disposed of over there, but that's where things go. If
Oh, we'll
your
get it.
best bet to go straight down the basement, unless you really feel like going into the main building and then dropping down, is through the disposal entrance.
No, if you haven't noticed, we're kind of an odd bunch that is very easy to spot.
Yeah.
I wasn't
think
going to say
the sewer
anything, you
path
know.
is gonna be the best.
Or
You've made it
just
this
point, I'm
far,
like,
you know, I'm not going to
dwarf,
question.
bird, goblin,
Phoenix.
tiefling.
Anyway,
I've seen crazier things happen with crazier people. So, you know, who am I to judge? Books, covers, you know, the whole nine.
Spines.
Yes, spines, right. That's exactly what I was saying. Correct. So,
so
he-
that's our option if we want to do a basement route. What would be our in if we did the tower route?
if you did the tower route, you would literally just walk right into the front door. Like I said, your
Okay.
alibi is that you're mercenaries working for the Empire. No one's going to really question too much when you're on the first floor. As you progressively move your way up, maybe people will give you some eyes, maybe because you are that odd group, but mercenary groups are a kind of always an odd bunch. So you can make your way up to the 30th floor. Getting the first bomb down will be pretty easy. It'll just be time consuming because walking your way up 30 floors is not a quick task. After the 30th floor, you just got to rinse and repeat. But after that, it's either a stealth game for you or, depending on how badass you all think you are, run and gun.
Okay.
Stabby, stabby.
Yeah. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. So, just to go over it all again with the group, our main objective is to blow up the building. Bonus objective, kill the Emperor, who is up on the 90th floor. Our
Bonus
best way to blow
objective,
up the
kill
building-
Soma, who I think
Bonus
is
objective, kill Soma. Do we have any extra information on Soma? Is he in the tower?
Are you
I'm
asking
assuming
Cater?
that- Yeah.
He mentions, I'm not quite sure who that is, but if you're looking for, is he a soldier? I mean, we don't all know each other.
I can try and do the thing
mind.
where I try and find him, but then he's gonna know. Like, that's way too risky
No,
now.
two-way mirror. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
is
feel like
it?
he's in the
Is
basement.
it?
Feel like-
So
He's got to be in the basement. Like, would Corbin have any idea if he was, based on all his connections and visions and
No.
stuff?
Nope. You only have connections with him with whatever body he was possessing, not with his
Right.
actual true form.
So this mirror thing you have though that would still be able to connect to him or no?
I don't know. I was gonna try it when we were in the Underdark with the Allmother, and I was gonna try and draw her away so we could get the orb, but we kind of had to get out of there. So I don't really know if it. I don't even know if it would work, but I also don't
Well-
really know if I want to try tempting the person who kind of makes me go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs while we're planting bombs.
Yeah, I don't think Fig wants that either.
Is this
Oh,
also the place Nova was last seen? That V was talking about that L overheard?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Save my puppy!
so you were
Puppy.
told that the last contact that V had with Nova was Nova was able to get inside the tower, and Nova found Soma's body, and the lost contact immediately after that, where V could almost feel the disconnect of their souls. Not so much that Nova died, but almost like something's blocking their connection.
Because
Mhm.
Elle definitely wants to look for her while she's in the tower, just because that's part of her history.
That sounds like a
She wants to
basement
look for the
thing.
giant puppy that her dad always talked about.
V would have said that last time she could sense that he was somewhere high.
Oh, that's tower.
Hmm.
Well, we could try to do the tower. Might be harder.
Um,
Andrew, I can barely hear what you said.
Use
He
the
said
tower.
she-
It could be
Tower?
harder. It could be harder.
Oh, yeah. I
so
know.
Yeah.
the thing
It'd be like
that
that.
I'm going to do before we leave, because correct me if I'm wrong, DM, but ritual casting takes 10 minutes, right?
If
That's
you
the
cast
thing, is
if
it
you
takes-
cast it as a ritual, not a spell.
If I
yes.
cast it as a ritual,
yes, then it
I
takes 10
don't
minutes.
lose the slot, but it takes 10 minutes.
Correct. You
Yep.
need to have
Okay.
enough space to draw it out, and then you concentrate for 10 minutes, and then you save yourself a spell slot. But yes, it's 10 minutes.
Okay, because what I'm going to do for all of us is give us a psychic link so we can talk to each other
Ooh, nice.
mentally. So
Nice.
if we either get separated, we're able to communicate with each other. If Alora sneaks ahead, she's able to communicate what she sees. If we want to divide and conquer, we
Yeah,
can
I
split
love
up
that.
and try and they do that. I also can make Gramps float and turn him into a balloon.
Please don't.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, there's always an option.
I'm just saying, if we need to
So,
be
not
sneaky,
threatening you, but
if we need to be,
Yes.
if we need to be sneaky, if I could just hover you above the ground to where you're not making noise because you're not walking.
Elle
like, oh
is
my god,
totally
shut up,
for
and then
this
you just
ideal.
like
Yes,
make me
yes, yes,
float.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
So that
No,
is my
it's
my
usually not.
ultimate
Do
plan
it.
is giving us a psychic link, but it only lasts an hour, which is why I'm waiting to the very last
Mm.
minute, so that way we get the full hour.
If you say this out loud,
So-
Kadar just says, doesn't matter which way you take. FY, the amount of walking time it's going to take there is probably about 2 hours. So if you're going to do that, I'd probably save it.
Okay,
Mm.
yeah, save it until we're like
that's good. That's good information to know.
I know it's usually a good idea to split the party, but I do like the idea of divide and conquer.
I mean, maybe not necessarily like one do the basement and one take the tower, because if someone gets held up in the basement, then we're in trouble. But maybe like left side, right side, top, bottom.
I don't think you want to take on Soma alone if he's in the basement.
Yeah, no, I don't want to take on anyone really.
Right?
Kadar's just
Anything
like,
in that
who is this
basement, like-
Soma? Like, what? Who is...
The
who is-
boogeyman.
It's just someone that needs to die. That's all that
Oh,
no.
I was
I have
just
a
told that you were
personal-
just looking for... I was just told that you were just looking for the Emperor and just destroy the building. I don't know who this Soma is, but alright,
That's
fair
okay.
enough.
You don't need to know.
Need
Okay.
to know basis.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I have a history with
but
him,
if
and I'd
we-
rather see him go. That's
I'm
all
just
you really
thinking
need.
If we did split it between tower and basement, that Corbin would probably be on the tower team. So they're not by Soma. So there's no risk of anything going sideways.
Yeah,
Right,
I don't
or
think-
him.
Or I was thinking maybe if we wanted to take out the orbs, that one team can do left orb and one team can do right orb, and that way we can make it at least simultaneous.
I like
Then if
we
we're
that.
in
wanna
the
just
tower,
try
it's gonna
for-
kill us too, right? Like we'd have to take out the
We have a
orbs.
cleric.
But and you're some sort of spell person too. What are you? A
The
wizard?
warlock.
A sorceress?
Warlock.
I'm
Warlock?
I'm a
One of
wizard.
all the
Wiz-
above? They all
Oh,
sound the same. I know they're not. the
let's start with the W.
They're not the same.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
Was sorcerer?
Sorry.
No, I'm a
No.
wizard with my
Wizard,
book.
okay. So then, if me and you destroy them, I don't know. I wouldn't say we're that's.
Can we teleport while we're in the tower?
No.
He just looks concerned. He's like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, we don't carry teleportation tech, so I mean, you won't know till you get in there if you can teleport. I mean, we have specific ways to get around, and most of them is walking, going up the steps and walking our way around. I mean, there are other ways. There is the elevator that leads the way up, but it's usually for the executives, and for the emperor himself. But and I don't know if it's a thing or not, but no one uses magic inside the tower. So
That was my.
I don't know.
was-
I don't know if it's not allowed. I mean, we don't get trained in magic, and most people who work there aren't really combatants unless they are other soldiers, and most soldiers don't use magic. So,
Good to know.
I mean, I'm not saying
Might be
that
easier.
it's not allowed there. I just don't see people use it. So, I would err on the side of caution because maybe that's a sign that other people know that it's just not allowed in there and something will happen.
Mhm.
But you don't know till you try. I mean, if it's an easy way to get you from, 1, 2, 3 right away, I mean, what the hell? But yeah.
That's good to know that it's not common for people to use magic. So I'll try and keep my.
I mean, honestly, if you walk around this area, you're going to know that there's not really like huge rules against it, but other than a few parlor tricks, no magic is really done around on this island.
That's a crying shame.
I mean,
Magic is great.
I'm sure it is, but I've lived on this island all my life, so I'm used to it. I mean, I'm sure there's some cool things you can do, and I mean, I've battled against other mages, and they can do some cool tricks, but we're pretty much protected by anti-magic armory and weapons. So how cool is it when you have a resistance against it? But each their own.
Hmm. That's why I also carry a sword, just in case.
There you go.
I would say maybe if somebody who can teleport wants to do the basement and then do the basement thing and then teleport up to the rest of the party while we're in the tower, we could if we were to split.
So
Who has the ability to teleport?
Question for that: how are you going to teleport to a location you've never seen before?
I was gonna say, I can only get up to 500 feet, so I highly doubt that that's anywhere close.
So remember, he's
Okay.
giving you a
Teleport.
blueprint of the area, not a live feed. So you can't just
Yeah.
look at a map and say, I'm going to teleport here, because you're going to literally teleport on top of that spot on the map. You're not going to actually
Yeah,
nothing
imagine the
splitting up.
location. So you're literally
Okay.
going to just
Splitting up,
teleport 1 foot
right.
ahead of yourself.
I mean, with
Or-
Dimension Door,
Doesn't
I
sound
can
like we're gonna
I
do
can
that.
describe one that I can describe or visualize. So I could say I want to go 300 feet that way, but again, I don't I need to kind of know generally
Yeah.
where we're going.
True. Yeah, then maybe we just stick to the tower.
So,
Yeah.
do we think that's our best plan is to try to just destroy the orbs and
See what happens.
if the tower self-destructs, then so be it. Or do we want to maybe? Because I'm thinking, if we have
Everyone,
a
watch
route-
out! Gramps is thinking.
if we have a route that's already guaranteed to get into the tower, but we'll end up in the basement, then more likely than not, if someone's in the basement, we will have to fight Soma, so we will lose time fighting Soma in said basement, and then that poses a risk to Corbin. But we're guaranteed that we don't have to try to be like, oh, I'm a mercenary. Oh, I'll have the Empire.
Well, he does mention that you don't have to hail the Empire. Mercenaries don't have to necessarily worship the Empire. They are still paid thugs, and they're not getting paid to kiss the boots. They're paid to do the jobs.
They're paying us to.
Okay.
They're paying to do work.
Hashtag
So you guys don't have to constantly act like a pro Empire role. You get to just act like yourselves, but you just got to stay hush hush about why you're really there. And if someone does decide to say, "Who are you?" then you just
Oh,
kind of
we're
like
here to
show the
kill the
wristband
Emperor.
and you just say,
Yeah.
I'm a hired mercenary. But if they decide to say that to you when you're past floor 30, then you got to make a deception check of why you passed the 30th floor.
Got it. Okay.
This isn't the bathroom.
Right.
Ah, yes. Wrong door.
I was told that the nice bathrooms are past floor 30.
Right.
Just
Not-
let my ass be comfortable and I'll head
What
back
is it, a
down.
duvet?
This
No,
was
Yeah.
one of those.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is
Um,
where the
Yeah.
good
Well,
booze is
yeah.
at.
So that doesn't sound that bad then.
Yeah.
So
that's
true.
I'll kind of break this
Make
down
it
for you
up to the
guys. The
30th
two different
floor.
ways is if you go in the basement, it'll be unknown, but because
But
you're
we got
in,
creepy crawlies.
but you probably will have less confrontations. If you go in the tower, you're going to have a lot more to do. You know what's going to happen. So, and then more confrontation. So it's going to be basically unknown versus known. Less, more. It's
Like
going to
the
kind of be a
known
double-sided sword. If you go in the basement, you don't have that much to scour, but you also don't know what's down there, and no one has any information to tell you. All they told you is that a lot of unseemly things happen in the basement. In the
Is the
tower,
basement-
at least half of it is planned out for you.
Yeah. Is the basement guarded? Is
He
that why
mentions
most
to you-
people don't go down there?
I
or
mean,
they just, like-
I mean, if you went in through the tower and went down the basement, that side's guarded. If you decide to go into the chute, you won't have any opposition getting inside. But again, once
Will
you get
just smell
inside,
like ass.
all bets are off. I have no idea what happens when you get inside. I just know that whenever we have any traders or someone gets sick with the plague and we don't have an answer for it, they get sent down to the basement.
Hey, I'm sick with the plague. Am I gonna get sent down there?
I mean, I probably wouldn't openly advertise that you are contagious, but
I mean, dude, have my horns missing. I don't need to advertise. It's literally right here. So
Well-
unless you got,
you're not contagious, are you?
No, not at all.
Okay,
No.
well, I mean, if you're contagious, they're gonna have a problem with that. They're gonna sense it right away because there are sensors for the actual plague. But if you were just X plague, they don't care.
do I know if I'm X plague or if I'm contagious?
You're not contagious. If you were contagious,
Okay.
you would have got your team sick already.
Okay.
Margaret votes going up tower way and
Sure.
just plant
Hashtag
putting
COVID.
some.
Make it till you make it.
COVID. Yeah.
Until you make it.
Hashtag
Well,
monkeypox.
Okay. All right. Cool. So you
Margaret
mentioned
says fuck the basement. What do you all say? We're not
I
doing
wanna
it.
Yeah, we should go in the tower because I want to fight Nova and I want to kill the Emperor. Because
Yeah.
Well, we know you're all
give
about.
me the money for the Dawn and they didn't, so he should die.
it's like, all right, sounds like a plan. So he immediately pushes the map off the table. He lifts up the big crate onto the table. As you can kind of tell from the thud, the crate itself with the items inside probably weighs about at least 20 pounds. 20 pounds. It's like, these are very, very sensitive items. I'd recommend that if you're about to go into anything that's going to be too problematic as far as movement, send them down somewhere else and then go back to get them later on. And he kind of like shows you, picks one up, and you can kind of see that there is some kind of oily substance that's inside of it that looks kind of like it's a nitro, kind of like that.
Nice.
It's like, it's pretty simple. He lifts up the lever forward away from himself, and then he just puts his hand on it, and then you just see it starts glowing. It's like, in case you turn it on too soon, just pull the lever back, and it disengages itself. Once you activate
That's
it, you
good
give
to know.
yourself. Once you activate it, you give yourself 1 minute. If you hold your hand on it for 3 seconds, it's attuned to you, and you get 1 hour to psychically turn it on.
And how many bombs are there?
3. Because 3 bombs, so 1 for the 30th, 1 for the 60th, and 1 for the 90th.
Right,
floor.
right. Perfect.
He's like, if these don't work,
Or
I don't
1
really
for
have
the
another
60th.
answer. These took me about 2 years to make without anybody knowing that I was actually taking pieces from the building. If you only get 2 in there, it will not bring down the whole building by itself. It's going to require all 3 to create a chain reaction that brings down the building. You'll probably
God.
kill a decent amount of people, don't get me wrong, but the building will still be standing.
Right.
Using all 3 of them simultaneously will at least destroy the security measures, and the building should fall apart without killing anybody out in the outer rings.
hmm
Okay.
What if we just use these on the orbs instead of the tower?
I wouldn't really know how you would do that. There's no way to get up to the orbs, and there's no exterior ways to get there from the building. I mean, they're constantly being watched, and the only way we could really get up to the orbs is either, well, I mean, you got wings, but do you really think that you can drop one on there, activate it, and fly out before they shoot you?
I do have a
Challenge
spell called
accepted.
Etherealness that
Yeah?
moves you
That's-
to an ethereal plane, and you can move up or down in that plane. It just costs you an extra foot of movement every time you do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So essentially, and it lasts for 8 hours, so we could just boop 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 onto the top of it.
So he
Like
shows
the
you like an
backpack.
image of them, and there's no way to necessarily stand on it without you actually taking
Oh,
damage
okay.
from the orb. Like, there's no like walking
Okay.
spot.
Yeah.
The
Okay, 'cause
think of the
that-
tower as
when
like
we
the
get
eye of
back to-
Sauron. Like the tower, like there's nowhere to stand
Right.
on it. It's literally just holding
Ah.
the eye on it
So
by like its pincers holding them up. So there's really nowhere to actually stand on it. Like it's like if you
Yeah.
want to try it, sure, but I don't think anybody's ever really tried to take them out just because they're watched more than the tower itself.
yeah, because
So-
once we get back to this plane, it would it says if you're on a space that is already occupied, you'll be shunted to the next one. We don't want to shunt and then just drop.
Into
No
the bomb,
shunting.
Yeah.
No shunting.
No
Mm-mm.
shunt.
Okay. Well, he's like, well, very good. So, and he picks one up and he's ready to hand it to somebody. And you can see it weighs probably about a good 10 pounds. So, who's going to carry the bombs? Or at least,
Would-
Laura.
All
Get
I
the
don't
bag
think
of
you
holding.
could carry. Well,
Will it fit in the bag of holding?
they do not fit in the bag of holding.
Oh, I can't carry
How they don't
them.
what?
They're too wide. They don't fit in the bag
Oh.
of holding. The bag of holding
Fine,
only
they're like-
opens up to a vacuum of so
what
wide.
if we
Like-
just put
Oh.
Gramps' end on one and Alora's on the other?
So the bag of holding isn't like a big, huge duffel bag that you can just open up all the way. It
I
only does
know.
have like a 2-foot radius that you can put stuff in. This brick is like 5 feet wide.
I
Oh.
know.
Oh my
I
god.
Okay, well, Alora, I don't think, no offense to you, but I don't think you can physically carry one.
I don't think I can either. They look like they weigh almost as much as I do.
Wait, these are our bombs? Are 5 feet long?
They're
They have to be
pipe
big
bombs.
enough to take out the most legendary building from mages ever. So they are like super souped up.
I mean,
so we
How are we
can't
supposed to
go-
bring them in there though.
Which is
Well,
why
he
I
just-
suggested the basement.
Like he just shows it to you and he like looks at it. It's like they don't look like bombs. They just look like backpacks.
Okay.
Oh, like every...
A
no,
5 foot long backpack.
I mean, have you seen some of
Hey,
the big,
we
huge
are
Goliaths that walk around?
explorers. We are mercenaries. We
feet.
travel.
They carry shields that
like-
are 10 feet tall. I mean, like it's.
Gramps, I'm pretty sure your hammers are more that like. Quit bitching.
Hmm.
Quit being soft.
It's not about being soft, it's about it not making sense
fi-
physically, but
yeah.
okay.
I guess me, you, and Corbin.
We have
Could
to. We
do
have to
it.
be the
Would
three
have
that
to.
carry.
Yeah,
They're not
well,
going to
three.
over encumber
Yeah.
you. They're not going to affect anything. I just need to know who's carrying them. That's all.
Right. Would Hal be able to fly when he's carrying one, or is it too heavy to prohibit his wings?
He could fly, but he couldn't have anybody in his back if he's flying then.
Right.
So, yeah, he could.
Could we all get on Eos?
Eos
Eos
isn't.
carry one?
Eos isn't.
No,
He isn't
supposed to-
flight ready for
Bomb
anybody
plus
bigger,
fire
and
things.
he's not flight ready for anybody bigger than
L.
Fig.
Oh,
Damn it.
Fig is just
Big and Alora.
big enough
Yeah.
that can still be on Eos. Alora is obviously fine, but
Yeah.
I'm
Fig
thinking
is just the
like
right size. That
never-ending story.
if Fig was any
Yeah.
taller, if Fig was any
We
taller,
also-
she'd be too big. They'd be too big to be on Eos's back.
Oh,
Okay.
well,
Yeah, we also have to keep in mind that we're walking around with a giant fucking bird that's on fire. That's gonna draw attention to us too. But
fire
if we
plus
need a,
bomb.
but if
equals
we need a
boom.
quick fuse, we got a
Fire
flame
plus
bird.
bomb plus boom. Yes.
We need a quick fuse.
Okay. So Cargrim, Corbin, and Hal will carry a bomb each.
Nope.
All right.
We're gonna walk right up to the doors and be like, Heidi ho, neighbor. Here you are.
Howdy-o, neighborino.
Hey-o.
Adios. We speak in the English.
Hello, neighbor.
We speak in the common.
He's like, all right,
Okay.
so you guys are going to go into the front. Got it. So he immediately changes his clothes back to his military garb. And he's like, all right, so I'm just going to walk you in because, you're not allowed to walk in without a accompaniment.
Escort.
So I'll get you guys in. Just make sure you have the wristbands on you. And we'll go from there. Once I leave you in the first floor, it is all to you. I mean, I can't be with you guys. But and then he passes over what looks like it's like a jewelry piece that goes over an ear. And he hands it. Whoever wants to take this, just press the jewel on top of it, and I'll be able to communicate to you. It only works a few times. It only has a couple charges, but when you're ready to leave, I can try to summon you out.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Corbin,
Escape plan.
do you want to ask him to let you know when we're 10 minutes out so you can start your ritual before we actually get there?
That, or I could just, if we want to take it the fuck it and run outfit, I can, just use a spell slot.
You
And
just ask him to let you know when we're 10 minutes out so we have a fail safe just in case.
that's fair. And if Katar wants, I can include up to 8 people. So if we want, we can include him. So that way, if shit goes south, we can alert him as well.
Okay.
Right, in case we're not able to use the jewel.
Or
whatever reason.
right, or if it runs out of charges, or it breaks, or some shit like.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
It
So
Did
yeah,
one of
if
you
he
take
could,
it yet or no?
I figured Alora would have snatched it.
So
That's what
so the way it
Allura does.
works is that there's two
Yeah.
ends to it. He has one, and then you guys have the other. It has 2 charges. What it does is it is an infinite communicator. You can be anywhere on any realm, and you can communicate to the other side. You guys can be on the opposite side of the realm. No big deal. The amount of talking time is for 25 seconds. Then the charge is done. So once you guys use so it's not like it's a way to summon a portal. It's, hey, we're ready, and then he'll summon a portal for you, and then you guys can walk out.
Right. Yeah. So if he could let me know, when we're 10 minutes out, so that way I could.
Sure.
And a large enough area to where I could do the ritual, but also where it won't draw too much attention, if that makes any sense.
Gotcha. Okay.
Are we all putting our hands in, team? Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo.
So it takes you guys out. You guys are finally out into the town. You start making your way to the first gate. The soldier there just looks, puts his head, just kind of gives like a silent nod as you guys just start walking. And as you get closer, you just feel the enchantment go around the actual bracelet as the doors themselves open up into the walls. So you guys keep walking through. He just kind of whispers to you, just keep walking, don't stop. You get to next.
Is there a set of bracelets for each of us, or just one person has all 3?
Just one
Or is
person
there a
has all
set?
3.
Okay.
You guys get to the next one. You guys keep walking. As you guys get close enough, the next door opens. As the guards don't even bother checking out, they just see that the band is working. So there's nothing for them to need to do. You get into the inner area. Oh, gotta wake up my mouse. You guys get to about here. As soon as you guys enter in this area where the actual tower is, you immediately feel kind of like a dense weight on you. Like, you already know that the Empire is bad shit. But just being so close to the tower, especially for a cleric, makes you feel uneasy. Not only did they ruin this old sanctuary, but you just feel like a dark presence coming from it. Something pure
like that.
evil that's just radiating from it.
Ooh. I was gonna pray to Fedona for strength. Just
Okay. You can.
regular prayer. But
So
I kind of want to see if I can identify bad feeling.
okay, give me a religion check. 24. while you're praying to Fedona and you're also kind of like trying to feel the bad presence that's weighing in on you, you feel her putting her shoulders on you and kind of lifting the weight away, as you can almost sense that the way that the Empire has perverted this tower has turned what has been a tower of blessing into a like their own plague that they've created. Like they've used up all the energy and has turned from a blessing to a curse, where being so close to it, you look at some of the other party members, Alora, Fig, they don't seem to notice it as much as the rest of you, and you start to figure out it's gonna fuck with magic users.
Cool.
McCartney's
Awesome.
gonna mumble under his breath about the folly of mortals.
The
And just let everybody else know that he thinks that magic is not going to be useful.
That's a problem.
Fedona just kind of gives you like a little bit of wisdom that doesn't say it, but you kind of just peer it up in your head. It's not like it won't be useful, but it'll be unpredictable. You could maybe try to teleport, but you might not go exactly where you want to go.
Okay.
What about enchanted things like?
You would assume those are fine since all the soldiers have enchanted swords.
Or the tokens with blessings?
Yeah, I mean, those you would assume are fine. The difference between enchanted weapons and magic is the difference between magic and regular weapons. There is a big, huge gap. You're literally just implanting a small amount of magic into a weapon, and then there's no exposed power. So it's fine. They're not going to have any negative consequences.
Or about like the what about these beads that I can use the cure wounds with?
That's fine, because that's still an enchanted item. It's an item that creates the magic. It's not coming from you. It's coming from the item. Where Kargrim's magic is based on Kargrim's blessings. Hal's magic, it wouldn't get affected so much because Hal's magic isn't actual magic.
Ranger.
It's just ranger spells. Unless you did something like Firebolt or something like that, your magic would be fine. Corbin's magic is going to be messed up because Corbin's magic is based on knowledge. So, like, for Kargrim's magic is going to fuck with his concentration. Corbin's magic is going to start making him forget the actual words.
Okay, so spells with nonverbal components. Got it.
So it's going to try to take away the ability for you to do the magic, not negating the magic itself.
Got it.
Whether it's specifically the ability of the tower or what they specifically did to the tower, that basically ruined it. And since no one here knows about what they did, it's the only reason why they don't know is because no one uses magic. Other than what you assume is the Emperor that uses the magic. Which you could assume maybe is what happened. Maybe the Emperor absorbed all the magic into himself and decided to say, fuck everyone, none of you can use magic because it's all for me. Ha 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 ha. Kind of like that.
It's mine. Yeah. But can I want to ask Fedona while I'm praying to her. Like, is there any way that we can just destroy these orbs instead?
She closes her eyes. She thinks about it as she's just kind of, gliding like next to you.
Yeah.
She looks at him. Not really. I mean, the orbs themselves are enchanted individually from the tower. I mean, if you did destroy them, I would fear for your life to even try to finish your objective.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably for the best. Yeah. Well, I had to ask,
She looks at you and she just kind of puts her arms around you. Don't worry. And then she puts her hands around your cheeks. I believe in you. And then she just kind of disappears.
Excellent.
So you guys keep moving in further as the doors to the front of the building, which are right here, they're already open from people coming in and out. You see people that look like politicians, other soldiers of different ranks, whether they're low ranks or other elites, are passing back and forth. You see that there's a difference of who's who. If they're wearing a white outfit, usually coat and pants, whether it's white and gray, white and red, whatever kind of color scheme it is, they seem like they are royalty, whether they're a soldier or not. Some of them are carrying swords on them. Some of them are carrying weapons that you guys can't really decipher, very similar to what Rebus's weapon was, where it looked like it's just something that was made custom for him, and you have no idea what it does until you see what it does. And then you're seeing that if people are wearing blue and wearing helmets, most likely they're a soldier, since they're not allowed to show their faces. And then anybody who's wearing black is a regular business worker here. Secretary, male person, the lower totem pole tower workers, kind of like that.
Mhm.
You assume that there's different ways of discerning their color scheme. Maybe white with gray, white with red, white with blue means a different title, but individually doing it, you would have to get a whole line of them across the road to kind of figure out what each one is.
Cool.
I will say, everybody give me a history check. See if you can remember something.
15.
Ooh, nope.
Spooky 20.
Okay.
8.
DC was 20, so for anybody got a 20 or higher, you do remember that Rebus's outfit was gray, white, and red, and he's considered the high noble. So you'd probably assume that white and red means high royalty.
Okay. And blue is soldier.
Well,
Got it.
Without
Or
blue by
what you
itself
think,
is the main color scheme. Main color scheme of white is royalty. Main color scheme of blue with accents is soldier. So
Right.
soldiers don't have any white; they just are blue. Royalty is white. Like
And
Rebus
high
is,
royalty is white, red.
Yep.
Got it.
Some people are carrying weapons, some people aren't. Some people are carrying just decorative weapons that you could easily tell, hey, this has been passed down through my family, and this is what signifies us as royalty. But yeah, we don't even fence. So yes, we're just rich. All right. So while you guys get inside, we're going to take a quick break. Allow everybody to go to the bathroom, and then we'll get right back. Everybody stick with
To
us. We'll be back in a little bit.
Prepare for battle.
Us.
Yeah.
meetup. So I wanted to make sure that you guys were planning on doing Dead by Daylight first. Otherwise, that'd fuck up all the makeup I was gonna.
Oh
do.
no, yeah, we're gonna do that first. Yeah.
Demon Slayer 1.
Huh?
All right,
Second
so
day.
we're back.
Woo.
I didn't hear what you said, Sarah. So you just
It
have
doesn't
to.
have anything to do with D&D, so it doesn't matter now.
Well, I was gonna say you could just message me. I mean, that works too. Or just ask me later.
Or I won't. No.
I mean, fine. I can do what you want.
All right, we're in it to win it. Let's go.
All right, so you get into the first floor, and whatever you're expecting, what you see is actually like a giant business tower. Like the first floor actually has like a secretary administration desk. You actually see like a directory of all the different floors by you. You do see in the center of the atrium, there's a fully glassed in like interior tower. The whole up to what looks like floor 40, the whole center of the tower is hollow, and this inner glass part has an elevator inside that leads through the whole thing. It looks like you need a certain key to get it to so many floors, and then you see stairways that go around, and you do see that in this hollowed to 40, you do see floor 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up. You do see floor 30, and because it does go up to 40.
Did we stop 10 minutes before so I could do my telekinetic?
Yeah, sure.
Do we? Okay, I just want to make sure that like that was officially established. That was a thing. So
Okay.
for an hour, we can communicate mentally with each other.
You do see an entrance that's restricted. That's a couple guards by it, and you can assume this would be the way that if you decided to go in the basement, if you decided to change your mind, it would lead. But yeah, it's like a hollowed out giant building that has wrapped up stairs that go against the walls and keep circling up, and then a glassed in elevator to the center that leads as far as wherever your badge actually allows you to go.
Cool.
Cater doesn't even say anything. He just walks off, just trying to play his role, and he goes and does his job.
Well, I should have done that before we walked in the tower, huh?
I mean, I kind of retconned the, telekinetic bond, so I'm sure.
Depends on what you're trying to do.
I wanted to cast a touch spell on everybody that will last 8 hours before.
Okay. Yeah, you
Death
can.
Ward?
I would like Death Ward. Yes, you already know what's
Yes.
up.
Death Ward. Okay.
Because that's a bomb-ass spell. That's why I know what's up.
So the first time any of you would die, you just drop to 1 hit point instead.
Hooray. We're not as squishy.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way I could just kind of sneak downstairs and peer and kind of get a
You can certainly try.
peek at...
Before we go to the tower.
I'm gonna ask mentally the rest of the group, should I just kind of peek what's downstairs? Just since we're here and it's right there, and I can look and see what
You
there
can
is.
be fast about it.
I was gonna say no, but I already know you're not gonna listen to me anyway, so what's the point?
Targum says if you can
just
be
quick
fast
peek.
about it and not get caught, then go for it.
Just a quick peek. I'm gonna look.
Don't let the door close behind you.
You guys taking the stealth check?
Stealth check. Yep.
28.
Okay. You get so far up to the guards, and they immediately just stop you. What is your business here?
Is that privy?
It points over in the other direction and points over to a specific spot that says "ladies and lasses," right over that
Thank
way.
you. I'm gonna turn around, go that way, and mentally go, it's no go. They're watching. I can't sneak past.
All right.
Sad.
Well then, let's
Now
make
that-
our way up.
Now that we're in the final sessions, the DCs for things will be a lot higher.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
Okay, so what would you guys like to do now?
I
Or we
Like,
go
I
in
can
it.
Make my way all the way up to the 30th floor.
Are you gonna take the elevator or are you gonna take the steps?
Oh, elevator.
Yeah, let's not have Gramps clanking up the stairs. Like,
Okay.
He's
Unless-
a
unless you
senior
wanna-
citizen.
unless you want to be a balloon, then
Alright.
you won't run out of breath.
So you go in the elevator. Immediately it recognizes the blue on the key, and immediately it closes, and it has like these different enchanted, like it immediately summons like these different levels. Does anybody understand Abyssal?
Whoa, what's that?
I do.
So you can read that they are numbers, all the way from 1 to 90. And it looks like you can just press one of the illuminated numbers and it should take the elevator there.
You said you wanted to go to 30 Gramps?
Yeah, I'll drop mine off at 30.
Okay.
I guess.
So you press 30 and the elevator starts lifting itself up. Looks like there's some other people waiting for to use the elevator when it comes back down. It does lift itself pretty fast. You guys aren't used to using elevators all the time, so it does move at an irregular pace for what you're used to. It goes up to 10, stops for a little bit, waits for anybody to load up. No one's there. 20, stops. Someone does get in with you. You do see a person in a white short coat, large boots, kind of like riding boots, human. Looks like he's like reading some kind of paperwork. He's not even paying attention to you guys as he enters in the room. And then he just like instinctually presses a button, which looks like he hits floor 50. As you see that he has a bracelet on that is glowing yellow as it activates. And then it
Okay.
stops over at 30 for you guys to get off.
Okay.
Is there anything like about his wardrobe that looks any particular difference in?
He's wearing white.
Colorations
He's
or-
wearing white with a green shirm to it.
Okay.
He looks like he's a business executive of some kind. Like he's too busy to pay attention to the lower folk, so he's just constantly doing his work while he's walking.
That's fair.
It'd be really cool if Alora could try to steal that yellow bracelet from him.
I think that's going to be, one, a terrible idea, two, extremely obvious.
Hey, we need a yellow bracelet, is what I'm getting from this.
Yes,
Mhm.
we
Get
need...
clear on
So
how
It'll
to-
be about as awkward as Hal trying to steal something.
So you guys
Dude,
get off
eh?
at floor 30. As soon as it does, you see your green enchantment, your blue enchantment go off as the doors close behind you, and the elevator goes back up for him to 40. As you see, it just ends right where your sight no longer sees it, as floor 40 is the first floor that's not that you can't see from the hollowed out tower.
Gotcha.
As it is the first floor that is its own floor that takes up the whole circumference of that level. Where the other floors 1 to 39 are just radial floors that just go in a circle. You get up here and you do see what this floor is like a young executives thing. Like you are not like the top dog, but you're executive of the lower fish of the business. Like you deal with finances and the economic crisis of the building, things that if you are a rich person you don't want to deal with, you just want to pocket your money. That's what this floor is for. They deal with the actual, what is the war actually doing for our money? Is it pocketing it? Is it helping us or hurting us? Helping us or hurting us? And you're seeing different people in like classrooms having meetings trying to figure out, yeah, we just had a battle with Abris. Did it cost too much? Where are we going to get the money from the treasury for? Like, are we bleeding money or are we making money? And you can see that they're constantly going, and they're not even paying attention to you guys coming up on the floor. They're sweating. They look like they've been working like 40-hour shifts just trying to figure out where can they get this imaginary funds from to get more soldiers so they can go back for another bout.
Do either of them have a yellow bracelet on?
You can give me an investigation check. It'll have to be a pretty high DC just because if you don't want to specifically peek into every room, you just got to do like a pivot motion to try to see if you can see anything.
Is there a bracelet? Oh, nat 20.
Not 20. Okay. So it's hard to tell because they don't illuminate till they work, but you see a couple that look like they had the same inscription as the one that had the yellow that you were looking for. One is one that's leading the group that I was talking about, that's kind of talking about, do we have enough money to get more soldiers? And then you see another one that just left the meeting, who is talking about, excuse me, who just left the meeting. Looks like he got really pissed off at his employees, maybe arguing about that we should not be doing this war. It is too costly for us, and we're going to bleed money before we can finish it. And it looks like he's heading over to the privy.
Okay. I would like to
Oh no, Gramps.
also go to the privy. I have to go potty.
Okay,
I'm
so
gonna
you
hand off my
You're a nervous
I'm gonna hand
Peter.
off my bomb to Corbin. Like, you're responsible. I gotta take a leak.
okay, so you start
You
making your
couldn't
way
have
over
done
there.
this outside? Like,
Because you're on floor 30, nobody really cares to look to see that there's random mercenaries walking around. I mean, this is the highest level you can go, so some of them kind of look at it's like, God, shut up with your heavy ass armor, and then they just get back to your work. As you go to the other side of like the ring section, and you do find the bathroom, you do walk in. It is a very lavish laboratory, with all the different privies in here have very like they have their own, which for this kind of timeline have their own kind of plumbing system. So all their systems actually do have a clean, natural room. And you do see that he is not really using the bathroom, but he is kind of like talking to himself, like, kind of like debating between himself if he should go in and agree with what they're saying, or go back in and really just decide to just keep pounding it home, kind of thing like that. He's trying to just have some privacy. And he just kind of like looks
Okay.
at you. Excuse me.
Oh, I didn't realize you owned the whole bathroom.
It's just like, no, I don't. But if you're gonna go to the bathroom, go to the bathroom. This is it. This is private. I'm just talking to myself. If you want to go to the bathroom, go ahead. But this is not a public show.
Okay. Yeah, you okay there, buddy? You seem a little... I'm gonna, like, walk over like I'm gonna go to the bathroom, but just, like...
Okay.
Side talking
go
to him.
down over, like, oh, yeah, like... You alright there, buddy? You seem a little agitated.
Oh, I'm fine. Don't worry about it. I mean, it's nothing you would understand. This is just, none of this makes any sense, and I don't need to talk about it to you. No offense, but it's just a rough past couple days.
I hear that.
Give me a
These
deception
days-
check.
These days aren't like how they used to be.
Give me a deception check.
Deception.
Corbin's just
Nine.
waiting for something to go wrong. It's gonna be great.
9. He's just
Oh
like,
no!
he's like,
No.
whoa,
We
whoa, whoa. Just,
We just got here.
I appreciate the back and forth here, but we're in the bathroom. There's no touching in the bathroom. If you wanna talk to me, that's cool, but just stay over there. He just kind of walks over and he just kind of starts washing his hands, and he just kind of decides to dry them
Are
off
there
and then
mirrors?
walk. Yeah, there's mirrors. There's mirrors in front of the actual vanities. Yeah.
How big is this bathroom?
Let's see. So I'd say there's about 6 stalls. So each one of you. About from the door to the back wall, I'd say about 50 feet long.
Okay. I would like to, while he's washing his hands, do a nice hit to his medulla oblongata to knock him out. Just a boop.
Okay.
I will like
Face
to
the
note
neck.
that
Face the
Corbin
brain,
is
it's fine.
Corbin is pacing outside
Okay.
because he's waiting for something to go wrong.
All right. So you're trying to knock him out in one shot. Okay.
Trying.
Roll the hit.
That's
Yeah.
You
gonna
can
look
roll
cool.
with advantage because he's not on defense. So you can roll with advantage to the hit. Okay. Natural 20.
31 to hit.
Yeah. It's
Nat
natural.
20.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
Okay.
So
He didn't see
you
what's
do 17
coming.
points of damage. He doesn't have any armor on, and he's just a regular business worker. You did knock him out.
Yay! I'm gonna prop him up in a stall on a toilet, cause and then I'm gonna take that yellow bracelet and just skadoop boop boop out of the bathroom.
Okay.
You could pickpocket him if you wanted.
So you take the yellow bracelet. Do you put it on right away?
I'm gonna get him set up in the stall and like all that before I.
Okay.
Like,
So you set him up in the
grab
stall. You kind of make it look like if someone kind of like looked underneath it.
he had a wicked poop.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
Don't mind me. Just
Yeah.
do my business.
Oh,
no,
read the paper.
Yeah.
Read the paper.
Just
Other
reading
one
the
ways to die.
New Averant Times. But yeah, you were able to prop him up.
Cool.
No one's gonna really notice anything for a little while.
I'm gonna put the bracelet in pocket.
Okay.
To avoid any suspicion, I will put it on when we are done playing the bomb on this level.
Okay. All right. For
And
the
I'll
group.
meet back up with everybody.
Okay. As you head back out, you guys do notice that it does seem a little odd that this level would be where you need to put something, because the level itself is not a full level. It's like a rounded balcony, and it's hard for you guys to tell without getting a full-blown investigation of where you're supposed to place this bomb where no one can notice you, and that no one would randomly just trip on it. So if any of you want to kind of look for a spot of where to put it, you would have to give me a pretty good investigation check to try to find the right spot of where they intended you to place it.
Alright, you're
Sure.
good at investigation.
Yes.
Okay, you should do it then.
Right. So,
Come on, Ranger.
yes. Come on, Ranger. That'll be a 26.
Okay. You kind of investigate, you look around, and you do notice that there is like a... Every wall has like itself like a conference room. But it happens to be that there's one notch that you originally thought might be like a maintenance closet, but it's actually just completely empty, and you assume that's where you're supposed to put it. No one will notice it's there, and you can close the door and no one will accidentally trigger it.
Okay. So yeah, this closet. We'll put it in.
Are you
A-bomb.
going to arm it, or are you going to come back and arm it later?
Gramps, this is your bomb.
Remember, there's
gonna
three
arm it.
different things you can do. You can either leave it there and come back and arm it later when you get them all done.
Mm-hmm.
You can arm it now, which I wouldn't recommend because then it goes off right away, like in 10 seconds. Or you can,
Definitely
or you
not.
can arm it and attune it to yourself, and the attunement lasts for 1 hour, and you can telepathically arm it within 1 hour. But but
Okay.
only the person attuned to it can do it.
Okay.
I think that's our
then
better option, because in
Yeah.
case we don't succeed on all of them, we can at least cut our losses with what we do have.
Right. So yeah, I'll attune it. I won't arm it, but I will attune it so that I can arm it.
Oh, and
In
apparently
case.
Al slits the dude's throat.
Fair
What?
enough.
Huh?
What?
Oh.
Apparently, Elle followed you into the bath. Apparently, it's a gender-neutral bathroom, and
So I would assume that you put him in the bathroom, he just kind of like shoot, and then El just kind
If
of
he
like snuck.
wants to go into the bathroom later and slit his throat while
Yeah.
he's unconscious on
Yeah.
the toilet, then she can do that.
Yeah,
Gramps
I would
doesn't
just
know
assume that
anything
you
about
walked out and
this.
El just went past you. It's like, oh, it looks like Gramps didn't finish the job. I got this.
silly Grandpa.
Slits.
Wow, he
Silly
had a
Gramps.
rough day.
Oh,
Rough.
they're not dead yet. I'll fix that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do I
Wait,
gotta
you're
do
the
everything for
people.
Gramps? Jesus.
Lol.
Who let him go on his
So,
own?
all right,
my
who's gonna tune the bomb to themselves?
This level was Gramps.
Card. Yeah.
All right, so Cargrim, you have it attuned to yourself, which means that you control
Yes.
the level 30 bomb. If for some reason you guys are here for more than an hour, you'll have to go back there and reattune it.
Okay.
Okay.
Or just set it off manually.
So far, you guys have been here for 5 minutes.
Okay. So I think we're fine.
I hope we're fine.
God, I hope so.
Um,
All right. How
So-
are we gonna get to next?
you do see the 9 floors
I don't
above
know,
you,
Grants.
and
How
then
are we
it
gonna
is
get
a
to the
complete
next-
different floor. So, what would you guys like to do?
Sorry, DM. Can you say that one more time?
So, because you're on floor 30 and the exposed floors only go up to 39, you do see the 9 floors above you, and after that, it is a flat ceiling because all the rest of the floors, 40 and up, are full floors, not just balcony floors, kind of like that.
Okay.
Are you gonna tell us that you have the other bracelet, or no?
It does look like you could probably go up the steps and probably avoid using a bracelet if you didn't have one, because the steps themselves don't look like they're enchanted with the actual bracelet, but it looks like if you want to use the elevator, you need the bracelet.
Okay. Well then, we can see steps leading up to level 40. We just can't see level 40 because it's not a radial floor like
Correct. Yes.
everything else.
You see the steps going up there, and then you just see the door that leads up to 40, and you do see. Well, you wouldn't know it because you don't know Abyssal, but Corbin could read that the floor does
Right.
read as 40. As you guys start noticing that almost all the literature around this place, as far as location-wise, is in Abyssal for some reason.
Okay. Yeah. So let's go back to the elevator for sake of time.
Well, if we were gonna do the elevator, I'm just worried that that bracelet is specifically attuned to that person.
Is there a
For
way that
some
you can
reason?
check that?
That's why I want to know if you're gonna tell us you have the damn bracelet.
Well,
'Cause I can
thought it would
try
come
and-
up in conversation when I said this thing about the elevator instead of us
Mm.
just talking out of character.
Meh,
But
meh, meh, meh,
now I brought it up.
meh. Yes.
God.
Jeez. Yes, I can try and identify it, but I also don't know with using magic around here.
But you're saying it's attuned to that specific
I'm saying
person?
no. I'm saying what if it is, and then someone else tries to use it?
Let's find out.
Okay, so you put the bracelet on.
Hmm.
Okay, so you put the bracelet on, and when you put it on, all the rest of the bracelets you got on glow for a second, as if it's like, syncing up to the other bracelets, and then it unglows itself again. Not unsurprisingly, as it doesn't really glow until it's actually being used.
Okay. So then
Okay.
let's get in the elevator and see if it'll allow us to go up to level 60.
40.
Okay,
See.
so you
Yeah.
go into the
Exciting.
elevator. The blue ring activates, letting you go into the elevator. All the 90 different symbols activate in Abyssal. Which one do you want to press? This would be Corbin,
Corbin.
since Corbin's the only one who knows Abyssal.
Mhm.
Yes, that's fair. Sorry, I was catching up on the texts that were sent through during.
I know,
Alora's.
I cannot.
Sorry.
It's okay.
So one more time.
Stampy.
Okay, so you guys
so
are in
we're
the
going to
elevator.
elevator.
The
Right.
90 different symbols summon. You're the only one who knows Abyssal. So which button do you
Mhm.
press?
60th is what we want to go to.
Yes, if there. Okay, so if there's a
Or
button
try.
for 60,
Okay, so you press 60. It goes up to 39. As soon as it hits 40, you do see the gold enchantment activate. As it stops at 39, and then as it glows, it goes up further. Compared to the other floors, we could actually see the floors. In this one, you don't know what's in each floor until you actually exit the elevator. They're all closed in spots. At this point, you're just in a black tube at this point, unknown where you go until you eventually stop. No symbols of the floor, but it stops. And you assume you're at 60.
Okay.
Doors open up. You guys walk out. Door closes, and it looks like the elevator goes up further. Maybe someone at a higher level summoned the elevator. But then there's a door that goes behind you. So like in most buildings, you don't actually see the elevator doors. You see the room doors that have to open up to the elevators. So you can never tell if the elevator is actually there or not. But in this one, you see that this room. I should phrase it differently. You're not actually in a room. You're in a long hallway.
Okay.
You see It's very similar to when you were in the Underdark and you went to go investigate the husband and the wife. You see power cables all over the place. Looks like whatever this floor is for is generating a lot of energy. But
Nice, go.
immediately you know that wherever you are right now, this is not where you, like, you know you're on the right floor, but you need to find the proper spot for the bomb, and this is not it. You gotta maybe go in a little bit further to find the right spot for the bomb. Also, this is a high trafficked area. Someone could walk into it. The corridor that you're in goes about 30 feet in until you hit a split. Left and right. To your left, you see what looks like a small bench, maybe for guest seating in case they're waiting for somebody. You see what looks like a cart, like a dining cart. It has a couple closed-in water carafes, and it looks like maybe some food that someone was munching on. Maybe there was like a catering service that was coming through here. And then to the right, it leads down to a left corridor, so it kind of hugs around. And you start seeing the power wires going further. Do you guys keep following?
Well, Hal, you're the one that's got an investigation. What do you think is the best spot for us to drop either your or Corbin's? I don't know which one of you wants to drop on here versus the 90th floor. But do you want to, like, take a look around, figure out a good spot?
I
Let
think
us
we
know.
should, but I think we should be quiet about it.
Can I use
Well, Hal's one that's good at
perception?
investigation, so that's
Can
why
you
I'm
do?
asking him.
Can you do what, El?
Can I use perception to hear if anybody is close by us?
Absolutely.
And then Hal can use a investigation to see where's
Detective
the
Hal.
best place. So 31 for perception.
31 for perception. You are listening in. It's hard to get sounds in here because the power cables are having random shocks that are throwing your senses off. Not like they're giving you kind of like a motion sickness, but every time you try to think you hear something, a shock happens on one side, and power lines make different sounds off another side. As you try to really focus, you do hear not really someone talking, but almost like sounds of like you're walking to an exposed area. Like you're in a tunnel right now. It's closed. It's contained. But you feel like if you go up further, you're going to be in a large open area. You even hear kind of like a whirlwind, kind of like a vacuum of contained air ahead of you.
Onward and upward?
I'm waiting on Hal.
Yeah. Big exposed area with one coming
You're
through
muted.
it. That.
No.
No, he wasn't
No?
muted.
No, he's just quiet.
Oh,
No,
to
you're,
is this
I
better?
don't think
no,
Alora
you're
can
fine.
hear
I think it's
Okay.
different for everyone because I think you're
Oh.
fine for me.
Okay, I can't hear Hal tonight.
Oh no.
you. Had to be somebody, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if going that way. I feel like trying to find a similar area that we did with the bomb was better when we did in the closet. It was concealed off and things like that.
Yeah, do we want to try and stagger them so like one's on the left side, one's on the right side, or do we want to try and make them all like parallel with each other?
I don't think it's gonna matter as long as we place and
Yeah.
detonate all three.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like
So as
Trying
long as
to
Hal
place
is
a
able to find a
bomb.
spot that's suitable for the bomb, then we
Yeah.
can just plop it down
Sure.
I can hear you again.
there.
Hooray! Huzzah! Yeah, so I guess we'll go try to look for a similar room that we found on the 30th floor, like a sealed off closet.
Okay. So you progressively go a little bit further until all of you start hearing that where you're going to is more exposed. It's almost impossible not to hear a consistent breeze moving up ahead. You eventually get into where you were a contained hallway. Now you're on like a bridge.
Oh.
You're on floor 60. It seems like the 5 floors beneath you technically don't exist. And there's nothing but emptiness beneath you. as
That's
you're on a
terrifying.
long corridor that if you fell off the bridge, with the exception of Hal, there would be nothing for you to grab, and falling damage would almost kill you.
Okay.
Everybody
well,
grab onto me.
The pathway itself is 10 feet wide, and you're walking across, and you do see that there is about 100 feet ahead. There is a similar entrance like the way that you're just coming from right now. Halfway up, the bridge goes to an intersecting way like you're on the right side of a T. Goes to the left and goes over to another spot. As far as you know, you're at the kind of the central part of the building, but you still, unknowing what this room is, you can't necessarily, unless you want to make an educated guess, where you could put the bomb.
Are there any abyssal markings on the walls or anything that I can read?
You can give me an investigation check.
Is there anything like surveillance-y?
That's a 12.
That's what I can
Hal,
see.
you can give me a survival check. A
Alright.
12. It is a large room. It is hard to tell. There's a lot of small scripture all over the place, but you can't focus enough to really read any of it. You do know that some of it seems infernal, some of it seems abyssal, but from this distance, you'd be guessing, and it could seem like maybe the word is front, maybe the word is end. Who knows?
Okay.
Hal, survival
30.
check. 30?
Mhm.
You are being watched.
Knew it.
You are noticing that there are these green orbs that are on the walls. And at first, when you look at them, you just assume they're lights. But as you pivot yourself around them, there's a black dot that follows you.
are
So
they
I-
only in this room?
Well, you guys only checked for this room. You have no
How
idea if
did
they've been
you
following
ever
you.
seeing them before?
No one actively looked before.
Yeah. But I communicate this telepathically.
Okay.
We're still linked. So somebody's watching us.
And how far away is the T intersection, and is the T intersection walled?
Okay, so the T intersection is completely an exposed bridge, not walled at all. From where you guys are right now, if you guys wanted to investigate the area, you guys would have at least been 10 feet in. So the center of the T intersection is 40 feet away from you.
Okay.
If you looked at a T, from left to right, it is 100 feet. And then the staff of the T, that bridge, the connecting, the intersecting, is 50 feet. So each intersecting point is a 50-foot bridge.
Got it.
How many green orbs are there?
What'd you get for a survival check, Cal?
30.
There are a total of about 50 watching you.
Oh.
Just a casual 50.
A lot of them actually seem like they are floating too. They're not just locked in. It looks like they've been following you.
Nice. Do the black dots all seem to move like in unison with each other, or is it kind of like a chameleon where they're all looking in different spots?
It looks like some of
at
them
the
are
same
in
time?
groups. It looks like some of them operate in like 3s or 5s. So some of them are watching specifically Allura. Some of them are watching Corbin. Some of them are watching Hal. Some of them are watching Fig. Some of them are watching Cardgrim. So
Cardgrim.
some of them work as a hive mind individually, but not all of them together as one.
Okay.
What's up, Laura?
Markham, do you want to see if your blue little wristband thingy that does information links to these things?
Sure.
Bad idea.
Let's try it. How do I do that?
Oh,
Do I just like?
Yeah,
so
do
you
that.
start
I'll
you
hold
start
up my
waving up
wrist
the
and be
the
like,
things and
"Huh?"
nothing happens. Nothing happens.
Okay.
The scripture
Would
doesn't
I be
activate.
able? Would I be able to Arcana my way to figure that out? how the
If you want
bracelet
to,
works?
if Cardgrim lets you touch him.
I don't know, Gramps.
Are you asking or are you just grabbing me?
No, I'm asking. I know better.
Good
You
sense.
just knocked a
One does
you
not
knocked
just
guy out in
grab
the
a
bathroom.
dwarf.
I don't. Yeah.
Because if it was just a grab, then obviously not. But if you're like, hey, what
Let
if
me see
I,
if I can help.
Hey,
Yeah,
you mind if I touch your
hey,
wristbands?
Hey. Yeah. go ahead.
Touch.
Food, huh?
Touch.
All right, you can give me while you're touching the wristbands, you can give me an Arcana check on them.
They're touching
Food,
me.
huh?
Man.
Aw, shucks.
Yawn.
27.
27. They're pretty much what you thought. They are sensors that activate different parts of the building so you can pass through. If the question is, do they have some kind of homing signal that tracks you? The answer is no. There not any reason why these things are following you. It looks like these things might have been following you for a while, and it doesn't matter which path you took. They've been following you.
Okay. Well. What role would it be to try to like identify what they are? Investigate?
Well, you can do different roles, and they will give you different answers. You can
Okay.
do a perception check, you can do an investigation check, you can do an Arcana check or religion check, depending on what you think would apply. I'm not going to tell you specifically which one to do, because they'll all give you completely different answers.
Can I do
Well,
perception?
Yes, or you can do perception.
gonna try investigation, even though I'm not that good at. 'cause
Can
need
I try
practice
Arcana?
sometimes.
Sure.
Yay!
Yeah, so, investigation first. So, Cargrim, looking at them, they look like they have very little amount of sentience. Whatever they are, they looked very similar to summoned lights, but they have just enough intelligence to know commands, where summoned lights are just like, I put you here, and then you follow me. This is like, I did a summon light, and I could command you to go wherever I want without having to move myself. Allura, you're noticing, at the very minimum, what you can tell with these things is it looks like their commands are to follow specific ones of you. So Corbin will stay still, and you walk around Corbin, and only the 5 that follow you are following you, while the ones for Corbin are still staring at Corbin.
Okay.
I got a 28 on Arcana.
20 for Arcana. You're noticing that these
28.
are spell related. They're not any
Okay.
kind of tech. They're not any kind of man-made item. They are pure magical energy. They just look like maybe like a custom-made spell. Like someone
Okay.
might have took like a summoned celestial, but instead of making one giant thing, they made a bunch of individual little creatures
Fireflies.
and essentially decided to give them commands. And
Okay.
in this way, but you would know in this aspect, you can't just say follow people. It would have to be say, okay, you follow these people, you follow these people. They would have specifically had to been attuned to you, other than just saying,
Right.
just find this person.
So
yeah.
we can stand to reason that they would have known we were coming if they had to tune it to specific, like specific as in follow Corbin, or specific as in follow
Yeah.
this group, or
They would have
okay,
they would have
so-
had to have like a picture of you. They would have to know what you look like beforehand.
Yeah,
before
so
would
they
come.
can stand. We can assume that they know we're coming. At the very least, they know we're coming. They may not know we're here yet, but if they're attuned to follow specifically us, then they know what we look like, and they're watching us. I don't know if they can hear what we're saying, but
Okay.
They don't seem to
Well,
be reacting to any sounds. They don't seem to be change like a pupil dilation as you talk. They just look like stare, follow. Simple
Creepy.
commands.
Gotcha. Well, if they already know us, then I don't think there's much point in trying to.
I will say, I guess because you guys did all get good skill checks, I will say that until you guys noticed them, they were specifically trying to stay hidden. They now recognize that you do notice them, so they are no longer hiding. So they have enough
Right.
intelligence to know the difference between recognition and not.
Okay, so then telepathically, I'm gonna say I feel like they already can. Since they already know us, then there's no point in us trying to be, what's the word?
Aloof.
Sneaky about this. Yeah, elusive about this. Let's just.
Act like we knew they were there the whole time.
What's up, little guys?
Barbarian got them?
Just go ahead and get this done.
But since
So
they know that we're coming, they may have set more traps because they know they're trying
Well,
to
we don't know
prepare.
how long these have been by us, so they might have known for a while. So those traps would have already been there regardless. We just know that there's the likelihood of traps is higher now. That's the only
Yes.
thing that's changed, is that we are aware that there's going to be traps, more likely than not. So
Right.
I'm saying that we don't really need to waste time trying to be sneaky and like, oh, we're blending in, because
Clearly, we're not.
it doesn't matter at this point.
We're being watched.
So continue on and find a place to put
So
the
just
bomb?
literally drop it where we're standing. Boom, bomb right there, and then we can.
You're just gonna drop
Mm.
the bomb where you're at.
I don't have mine. This is up to Hal or Corbin. That's why I was trying to let them
Okay.
take the
Oh.
Does this
level.
look like a good spot that when it goes off, it would take down?
I mean,
the
we're in the
building? 'Cause I
center,
feel
so
like
yeah.
You'll have to give me a
if
survival
not-
check to be able to know if the bomb would have an impact at this location. 11. Yeah,
Sure.
you cannot. You're
Sounds
not
great.
trained well enough to really know. Like, you're on a bridge. You'd assume you would assume the explosion would destroy the bridge and just would end there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I will do one.
Okay, survival check from Hal.
Come on, Birdman.
That's 420 or 14 plus 25.
25.
Yeah, 11 plus 14.
You know from where you're located at, if they're watching you and you put a bomb in this specific location, they're just gonna move it most likely. You would assume your best bet is to either go to the door straight ahead or go to the door at the intersecting point.
Okay. Onward. So let's
Do you
do
want
it.
to? Do you want to go?
somewhere not.
Do you want to go all the way to the opposite side, or do you want to take the intersection and go down to the bottom of the T? So you're at the right of the T right now. You can either go to the left
Yeah.
of the T or the bottom of the T. Okay.
I feel like the bot.
All right.
I feel like the bot.
Because the bridge is only 10 feet wide, I need marching order. Who's leading? Who's following?
Karim is staying behind.
No.
Take the lead on this.
I can't. That's
Yeah.
fair.
I was gonna say,
Yep. Hal and Eos.
Okay.
Jesus, I can't. I keep forgetting that we're walking around with this 5-foot bird of fire.
Right?
Yeah.
So, all right. So it's going Hal, Eos. Then who's behind Hal and Eos? Alora.
Take. Yeah.
Okay, and then it goes Corbin and Cargrim.
I don't think
Kargrim is
Kargrim's
staying
going.
right where he's at. Kargrim's not going on that bridge. He did not.
Uh,
In character,
set up for
was
that.
him shaking his head as soon as he saw 5. Nope. 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 Nope.
Yeah, I feel like the less amount of people on this bridge is probably better.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll stay behind
Less
with
more. Okay.
I'll stay behind with Gramps because at the very least Hal can fly and Alora can jump
Yeah.
on Eos.
Yeah.
So
That's fair.
Okay.
I think
All right. So you all, minus Cargrim, decide to move up
And
a little
Corbin.
bit. And Corbin. Okay. Wait, where's Corbin?
I'm
Corbin's
staying
hanging
with
out
Gramps.
Kargrim.
Okay, so Corbin, you backtracked.
No,
Sure.
she never left. She stayed with Cargrim.
Well,
It was just me.
Corbin wouldn't have been
Uh,
able to look around in the room without walking on the bridge.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay. Well, if I'm already
So-
there, then yeah, I'll just stay on the bridge. No
So-
sense in making more noise.
So Hal, Alora, then Corbin,
Yep.
and then I'm hanging out by the.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're the escape hatch.
So you get over to the intersection. You take a left. And you start going down. As you guys just consistently keep watching the creeping orbs that are following you, they eventually start dispersing up against the walls. They start locking up on the walls,
I don't like this.
stopping. As you keep walking forward, you start noticing the door had you close.
I backtrack
Okay, you
a
backtrack.
little bit.
Cargrim, you notice that you can't enter the bridge anymore. A door is just closed in front of you.
Oh, guys, telepathically.
And this is exactly why I did this.
Guys,
Something's not right.
there are doors appearing.
The
Just
creepy
drop the
thing's
bomb, let's
attached
go.
itself to walls.
At this point, the people who are on the bridge, all the different bridgeways are closed from you. They're like glass sheets, so you can see Kargrim, but they are pretty dense. At this point, you all start seeing the floating eyes start kind of summoning together as they start going up to like this pedestal that's about 20 feet above you. And they start kind of like spinning around a circle as it looks like it's summoning something.
We gotta go. Gotta get out. Gotta go. Gotta go now. Drop the bomb. Gotta go.
Is there anything on the pedestal
On the pedestal right
now or no?
No, the pedestal itself looks like it's an exposed part that lets someone, like, it looks like it's like an exposed floor piece, roughly about 20 by 20, so people can like stand on it. Unknown why it's there, maybe to work on maintenance.
Hal, send Eos up there. Can he attack those things?
I don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah, if we destroy one, they might all get alerted, or some alarm will go off. That's what my thinking is. If that happens,
They keep spinning. As they start turning into more orangish kind of objects.
Or we could just say screw it and do it.
Do it! Do
what?
it! They're turning orange.
They keep spinning.
blow up the surveillance. Let's see what I got. I could shoot an arrow.
I was to say, if possible, Corbin would like to try and dimension door to Gramps, because he just needs to see where Gramps is. He doesn't, it's just a boom boom.
Gramps is talking telepathically to y'all, saying, hey, a door just appeared. Y'all should get out of there. And I'm sure you all noticed your doors as well. Probably about the same time that I said that, if not, like, immediately at the same time.
So,
like, this is up to you. I don't know.
Oh no, Corbin wants out, so
They
he's
keep
gonna try
spinning.
and...
At this point, they are gold. And they start forming together where you don't even see orbs anymore. It's just a gold light as you see 3 entities starting to summon. What do you guys do?
Guys, what's going on?
No,
Why are you still out there? Hurry up, let's go.
Is Corbin
I
able
guess
to
we can
dimension door to
backtrack.
Gramps?
Corbin can certainly try to dimension door to Gramps.
Corbin would like to try and dimension door to Gramps.
Okay.
So wait, this is above the bridge?
Yeah, so you guys are on the bridge right now. There is, like,
Okay.
against the wall that you guys were walking to originally at the bottom of the T, about 20 feet above that wall, there's a hanging, like, balcony.
Okay.
20 feet wide, so it can fit 4 people on it. And it is just like a flat balcony, no railings, nothing like that, and it's just kind of like a V flattened. And all these orbs are turned into a summoning signal,
Sure.
and then they eventually take full shape. What do you want to do, Corbin?
All doors are closed.
Yep,
right?
all doors are closed.
Corbin?
Was I able to successfully dimension door to Gramps?
I mean, unless you have to make a check, yeah, you can just.
Nope.
Okay.
Okay, so
Nope,
yeah, you
I just
dimension
need to be
door right
able
to
to
Gramps. You just
go.
appear 10 feet away from yourself, and you're on the other side of the glass door.
Okay. Just you?
I mean, I could take Alora with me, if she wants to go.
Since Hal will be there on his lonesome.
Well,
and...
it
I'll
would be
be
it'd be
with-
essentially Fig. Fig is there, but yeah.
Okay, since they're there and the door's still closed, we can't get them through. I'm gonna try out my new dagger of warping. And I'm gonna throw it up to that platform and go swoosh.
Oh, the balcony?
Land up
Okay.
on the platform.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So you throw the dagger up there, and you're able to. If you look at the stats of your dagger, I don't know if you looked at the description of your dagger. If you want to catch it in a certain spot,
Two charges.
It's 2 charges. So
Then
you would
I
throw it and you
have
catch it somewhere
10
mid-air.
charges.
So you spend 2 charges to land safely on there. As soon as you do, as the people are someone that don't notice that you appeared behind, all of you see, who can actually appear, see 3 entities summon on the spot. You see a person draped in a large black cloak. looking familiar to a couple of you. You see a person dressed up in, a female dressed up in kind of like a ceremonial garb, but also is carrying what looks like a very, very enchanted staff on her side. And then you see a man, pure white robes, gold paisley pattern, going all the way down it. Long kimono-style robe, large hood, and a gigantic golden crown on his head. Long beard tied all the way down. As he just starts clapping. This is where it ends. As he just snaps his fingers, as you just see 3 people get summoned onto the platforms of the bridge, and you see 3 elites. And that's where we're going to end the session.
Da da da.
Quick question.
Yeah.
There's like an opaque door that me and Corbin are on the other side of. Did you
It's
say
a,
it was a glass door.
it's a glass door.
Just glad.
Okay, so we can see through it, but I'm assuming it's more than just like actual glass. Like we can't just be like tink and break it.
I mean,
Yeah.
We haven't
I would assume
tried,
that you
but
would have.
yeah.
I would assume that you would have tried, and just using your hand, it feels like it is quite dense,
Okay.
or quite thick at least.
Dick.
It does seem kind of like blast door kind of style, but it is clear, so you can see through it. But it is so thick that you both see through it and do get a reflection of yourself off of, due to how dense it is. But yeah, so
We were able to see the guy.
yeah,
in the
so
sunlight, right? Okay, that's what I want.
what you're able to see is, let's see, do I am still loaded in here?
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Oh.
Oh, fun.
Yep.
Look at this guy.
Okay.
Guys, I don't think we're making it to that top floor.
So
Okay.
Well, no,
I love
because we're
to
gonna kill
hear
them
the
here.
upbeat attitude. That's what we need.
also
Yeah.
for Corbin and Alora, you recognize who the person in the hood is, and you recognize it as Allmother.
Oh.
Ooh.
Or at
Corbin
least one of her
immediately
forms.
starts trembling. Corbin's terrified.
You
Corbin
recognize
is-
it as her
Is
humanoid form.
L.
Like this tea.
As a vision that you guys would have had, each of you would have had, of remembering that someone told you that realistically the king doesn't rule, Allmother rules.
Sure.
Mhm.
So thank you
Go
very much for
down!
watching. We will be on next Thursday. So we will have a battle next time with the Emperor and 3 elites. So we'll see you guys next Thursday.